Sorry I'm a little late. I was watching the football game. That was a that was a nail biter. I thought the Hawks were going to blow up. Let's see what we got in here going on. Like I said, I just got in here, so let's see what all I got in here. We got Kyle, Ryan, and Uncle Al. That looks good, I guess. How's everybody doing this evening? Who else watched that game? Can you guys hear me okay? If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up or something so I know. Oh, you can. My phone's letting me know. There we go. Yeah, who else watched that game? That was a pretty darn good game. I was kept watching the clock. I didn't know if I was going to get on here in time because I wanted to watch the end of that football game. They just about blew it. The Hawks did. I'm a Hawks fan, as you guys know. So I've decided I'm going to make Thursday nights over here on this channel. I'm going to make it like the Hollywood Squares, where everybody can come up on the panel and tell everybody about their channel and kind of visit with the side chat and whatnot. So if anybody wants to come up here with me, just let me know and I will put a link out there for you. And you don't have to have an app or anything to come on StreamYard. All you need to do is when I put the link up there, all you have to do is accept the link and then they'll just want to use your camera. You don't have to have anything special to get up here. You got a blackout out in the boonies there? Oh, you didn't get the game out in the boonies. I see what you're saying. Oh, you watched it, Ryan? Yeah, that was a hell of a game. That interception right there at the end was that guy really laid himself out there. I'm still all jittery from watching it. What'd you guys do all day? I went and got my leg welded. What they call welded, I guess. They took a line, they shoved it in my calf, and they shot it all the way up my artery up to where my gonads are. And then they had this thing in there that was turning super fast. As they were pulling it out, it was kind of like flaring out the artery and filling the artery full of super glue stuff. Yeah, the missed field goal, man. I was sitting there on the edge of my couch going like this, miss, miss, miss. And he did. I about flipped out. Chris, hey, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you, Chris. We were just talking about the ball game. Did you get to watch any of it? Thursday night foosball. I was telling these other guys, Chris, what I'm going to do over here on this channel here, because I have another channel besides this. But on this channel here on Thursdays, I'm going to open it up to like an open forum. If a channel wants to come up here with me, they can. And they can tell the side chat all about themselves, their channel, what their goals are, what they see happening in the future. Or just sit here and shoot the crud with everybody. I don't care. But if you come up here, then people get to know a little bit more about you. You know, I sit up here and talk to you guys, and you guys learn a little bit about me. Well, if you came up here too, you would have a chance to for people to learn a little bit about you, what your channel is all about to you, not to them, and then maybe what your goals are in the future and stuff like that. And it's going to be a slow start, I know, but I think after a while it'll catch on. The only sport you do is fishing. Fishing is a good sport. You ever gone fishing for steelhead? What kind of fish they got where you're at? I think that'd be pretty crazy to live somewhere where they do northern lights. Switch my screen here so people can get up here if they want. Throw one of these out there for you guys. And let's see how I'm going to make that work. I don't know how to make it work from here. I have to make this window a little smaller. Hold on. So I can figure this out. Maybe we can do it like this. There we go. I figured it out. I'll let you guys come up here if anybody wants to come up and hang out. Northern pike. I like catching northern pike. When I was in about, I don't know, maybe 15 or 16, I lived in Montana. We would go fishing up in the northern part of the state, and I would just go along these little creeks and stuff, and I would just like throw my lure in them and see if there's any fish and stuff in them. And I found this one creek that had northerns in it, northern pike. And I'd started fishing along the way with it, and I was catching the northerns. And the next thing I know, I look up and there's this guy there, and he says, "Have you got a fishing license for here?" And I go, "Here?" I said, "Yeah, I got one right here." He looks at it, he goes, "No, for here." And I guess I'd walked right into Canada. He said I needed a fishing license in Canada to be fishing right there. So I asked him how far into Canada I was, and he said I wasn't in very far, that if I went down and went around the bend, I'd be back in the States. I thought that was pretty funny. Oh, you're talking about the Northern Lights? No passport check when you're just walking along a creek out in the middle of nowhere. There's no roads or anything. Just kind of out there fishing. I lost track of where I was at. I was just walking along, throwing the pole in, reeling it, following the creek. Before I knew it, I guess I'd walked right into Canada. So I didn't know there was any red northern lights. I thought all they had was the green ones. Yeah, the back door to Canada. Yeah, I was at the back door to Canada. Went and had my leg worked on today, Uncle. Feels a lot better already. I can actually walk on it without it hurting. No, Northern Lights in Florida for sure. That's pretty weird. They run a wire all the way up in my leg from my calf all the way up to my gonads. How many other people are friggin' live streaming right now? I never even checked. They got a lot of people live streaming right now. I don't even think you needed a passport back in those days, Kyle. Like I said, I was only probably 15 or 16. It's probably in the 60s sometime. That's way before your time. No, I don't want clots. He had actually told me that the vein was leaking out blood. Said it wasn't working right. That's how come my leg hurt. And he said that's why it was swelling up. He said because the blood was flowing through that artery was leaking out of it into my tissue and stuff in my leg. He said that was causing my leg to swell up. He said it was lucky that they caught it in time because it could have killed me. So, is there a certain time of year that the northern lights turn red? Then, Chris, they turn red a certain time of year, or does it have to be have something to do with the atmosphere? Because I really never heard of red ones, or I thought they were all green. To tell you the truth, fall, fall is when they have the red ones. I just thought they were always green. Shows what I know, huh? Where those shine at again? Is that in Canada or New Zealand or something like that? It's New Zealand. Is that where they're at, or somewhere like that, or northern Canada? Okay, that's up there going towards the polar caps, then, huh? That'd be so cool to live close to those things. Man, I wish I could live close to those things. You should get some film of it, Chris. Canada or Russia, either one. Well, I could understand it being red if it was Russia. Hey. New Zealand is springtime. So what Australia is also springtime, right? My friend Gabe from Gotta Love Carpet Pythons, she said it was starting to warm up there. That's that international dateline crap, you know. I saw her video today. I was watching it, and she was in shorts. I'm not sure I could live with all them big ass snakes that she's got around her place. Oh, so some of those could actually be like an EMP thing, right? What you're saying, Chris? Maybe the red ones could be like an EMP, could be like an EMP attack. Maybe I don't want to live up there. Be buying new cell phones and computers all the time. So they only come once or twice a year or something like that. Is that right? What was with that long video you did, Uncle? You get all crunched up and had what you told me you had to put two in one. Microwaving my phone. I'm reading that new book. The name of it is. Let me check it out here. Let me look it up real fast. It's that new one by Edward Snowden. Later. Permanent Record, that book by Edward Snowden, Permanent Record. It just came out. He's telling all the secrets of the CIA. Oh, I see. That's why you didn't want to do two parts. Two parts can be a pain in the behind, you know it. Unless you're doing a series or something like that, then it's okay. But just a regular two-part one, kind of a pain in the butt. If you're going to do a series like three or four things that run together, it's not too bad because then if you use a little more time or a little less time, it doesn't uh, really do too much. You can kind of string it all together. Have you checked out that book I'm reading? Have you heard about it? About Edward Snowden, that CIA guy that lives in Russia now because he got in trouble here in the U.S. for telling top secret stuff or whatever. A north south shift. You talk about the axis. Yeah, I believe that we're shifting a little bit too. I think it has to do with the climate change. I read a big article on that, Chris, and they say that it's tilted like a half a degree or something like that off of what it used to be, which is making the climates change a little bit. Yeah, maybe it was the NSA. That book is pretty good. That's a pretty good book. If you get a chance to read it, you should. It's called "For the On the Record" or something like that. It's called Permanent Record. Yep. I know about that, Chris. But it's that axis thing. You know how the Earth sits on an axis, and I can't remember what the exact degree of it is, but it said that we turn. I think we're off a half a degree, or maybe not even a half a degree. But anyway, we have moved a little bit. It's enough to shift our seasons. I read that kind of stuff. 26 to 30 degrees. Well, that's for normally, right? We're supposed to be normally 26 to 30. And I think that we have shifted a little bit more than that. And that's what's causing us to have different growing seasons, the temperature changing, and all that crap. Where'd you hear that at, Chris? Don't they always have to redo their instrumentation? I think I read somewhere that they do. They have to change it every so many years. How about you, Uncle Al? The other way, what? What are you talking about the other way? Online? Oh, but they don't want us to know any of that stuff. That's not need to know information. We're in the second year of a GPS change. I hadn't heard about that. I know that we had tilted some. Is that why we do all those updates? I never realized. I thought they were just changing the hardware and stuff. What are you telling me, Uncle Al, that we're supposed to be going around this way, but it's starting to turn the other way? Is that what you're trying to tell me? software problem. Well, according to Chris, it's another problem altogether. The rotation wobbles. I can believe that. I could probably believe that. So, what kind of occupation have you got, Chris? I was a welder for 30 years, but now I'm retired. That's like me. What do you do that you get paid at? You're a semi retired kook. Well, we are already all know that, Uncle. And you're not semi retired, you're all the way retired. I just found out what Carl was doing a week or so ago. I found out why Carl can show us all that countryside when he does his videos. It's because he travels a lot for his work. Oh, you're trying to get your lures off the ground? That would be a good business if you just need to get some exposure. Hey, David, how you doing, my friend? Long time. I haven't seen you around for a while. How are you doing? Good to see you. How you been, Dave? You been sitting here listening to us talk about the Earth going the wrong direction and stuff? How you been sleeping more? Yeah, I know I haven't seen you around much. I see you over there in the 2A community a little bit, but not too much around anywhere else. How long did it take you to make one of those lures that I was watching you spray paint the other day, Chris? How long did it take you to make those things? You got like a mold or something? Hey, Trent, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you stopping in. Good to see you. How are you? I've been peeking in on your live streams here and there. They're hand carved. Well, you would think that those things would sell pretty good since they're hand carved. You don't have a sponsor or anything. Japan might, yeah. Uncle Al might have an idea there. So, what do you like? Sell them on eBay or anything like that to try to get yourself off the ground, or are you just mainly still just in the throes of trying to get it all put together? I might. You should try selling them on eBay. Not maybe not in the United States, but maybe uh, broaden your horizons and do what Uncle Al said and try the Japanese market or something like that. I'm telling you, Canada has some crazy PO mailing practices. I just tried to send a letter there and it got returned saying not enough postage on it. I tried sending a package over there and it came back saying it was not enough postage on it. I had one package that went over there, but it never came back. And the guy said he never got it. He checked on it and it was stuck at customs. So yeah, Canada's a pretty crazy place. Lottery type system, yeah, that might work. There's still going to be a lot of people out there that like handcrafted items. It's like me, I do leather work, and it doesn't. I don't do a lot of it. I do it. It goes in spurts because whatever I do is a custom leather project. It's not something that everybody in the world can get. I make it. Everyone I make is a one of a kind. So kind of hard to make them more affordable to people, though, when you got so much time and effort into them. Same with me and my leather, you know. I mean, the leather is kind of spendy, but the biggest cost comes from labor. How long it takes you to do that article and make it look realistic, you know. Just like you. That could be an idea. You gotta run that like on your channel or something, or try doing it like on eBay or something, like eBay does auctions. Then you could set a minimum rate on it. You don't know how to smuggle smuggle to Canada? You sent 2 quarters and a nickel to Canada for $1.46 and had it arrive in 4 days. Well, you're a pretty lucky guy then. I, I've had a lot of issues getting stuff there, even, and none of it was very cheaply done either. You know something we don't know. Hey, Cubby, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. How are you? Oh, I appreciate you doing that. I really do. If you guys in here don't know Cubby for Life, you guys should check him out. Go hit him up, grab him up. There is a shout out video to prove it. Yeah. Oh, good, good. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Just a little lackadaisical thing I'm going to start doing on Thursdays here on this channel. Gonna make it so if people want to come up here on the screen with me, they can come up here and talk about their channel or whatever they really want to talk about. Gonna try to mix stuff up over here. So where'd you get that lottery system idea? Hold on, I gotta put a plug in my tablet. Come on. Oops. Tablet not wanting to be alive here. There we go. Out of your head? Well, it's a pretty good head then to I want to do it like that. You should make it so it's like a $25 entry fee or something. That'd be a bottom line, you know. or send it even higher than that. You know, if you're saying it's a $200 lure, why don't you make it like a $75 buy-in or $50 buy-in if you want two chances at $75 or something like that. What's going on this weekend, Cub? Something I'm missing? Remember, if you guys want to come up here with me, you can. Anything happening this weekend that's special or anything, Cubby? Oh, weekend. I'm telling you, our weekends are going to die out. I think wintertime's on the way. Remember, if you guys don't know each other, check each other out. Do it the right way. Go over and watch a video and leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment at the same time. Yeah, Montana's got a lot of snow up there already. That, are you bragging or complaining there, Kyle? Yeah, 4 foot of snow. That must have been up northern Montana, up there where the mountains and stuff are. It must be getting already cool up there where you're at, huh, Chris? 50 in Chicago. Let me see what it is here. Oh, that can't be right. Let me try to get an update here. Darn phone. There we go. 50 degrees here where I'm at. You're getting ready for what? North Carolina Seafood Festival. All right. They're going to have oysters and all that stuff there, oyster shooters and all that stuff. Probably clams and lobster and mussels and 60 in the booties there, Uncle. Helena, Montana. Yeah, I know where Helena, Montana is. Sapphire Mine, yep. You name it, they got it. Yeah, I like oyster shooters. I don't know if you've ever had those, but I really like them a lot. Oh, you got some gyms you need to have cut and stuff. Oh, your sister's getting married? Well, congratulations to her. How long is she, how old is she? She older or younger than you? 48. Holy cow. You don't get married at 48. You just get shacked up. Gems and lures, yep. 48 still young? Yeah, I guess it still is. I'm just saying it's too old to get married. By then, you should have it figured out that you just uh, kind of shack up together and not worry about it. Everybody got different thoughts, so that's for sure. 79 in Havelock, North Carolina. Man, you guys keep that heat there for a while, but when it gets cold and snowy, it gets cold and snowy fast, huh? Oh, cool. That's cool, Chris. Yeah, I haven't tanned a hide in a long time. I used to do that. I used to make saddles and all kinds of stuff back in when I was a lot younger and did it a lot. I used to work all day and then pound leather all night. Oh, you used a flint knife. Cool. It was 90 there today. Holy cow. It's starting to cool off here in the daytime. I think it was like, I don't know, maybe 84 today during the hottest part of the day. Yeah, you should try to do that. Camera shy. You just have to think that it's not there. That when I first started doing my videos, I was real camera shy as well. I had a real hard time getting to tell myself it was just a machine that I was talking to. You can really see a big difference if you go back in my videos from my other channel. If you go back all the way to where I first started doing videos on YouTube, you can see a big difference. I could hardly talk straight just putting out a video. It just kind of grows on you. It just gets easier and easier the more you do it. Be 90 there for God knows how long. I know when I was stationed over in Jacksonville, Kyle, uh, it was in, I believe it was October when I was there. And it would be cool in the mornings. There would be like uh, just a fog that would roll in off the ocean, and it would stay like that until about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Then it would just burn off, and then it was like 80, 90 degrees the rest of the day. Should have stayed there, but I did. I didn't do it. I should have stayed there. Yeah, yeah. You need to get you one of those GoPros or something where you can just attach it to yourself and just go ahead and do all kinds of stuff and not think about it. Then you would get over it, because you could just turn it on and pretend it's not even there and just go about doing your thing. That's a big piece of flint for sure, a 95 pounder. What were you going to do with all that? Or you could make it like a variety channel, Chris. You could just make it a variety channel, and that way you could do just about anything you wanted that was of interest to you. Then you would be just in that variety niche where you can do a little bit of everything. Bikinis, yeah. They're all over the place in Florida for sure. Okay, you were gonna make arrowheads. Okay. So did you ever get around to it? Oh, okay, Dave. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. You have a great night, okay? You sleep real tight, okay? I'm glad you came by, David. Come by another time. Anytime you're welcome here, you know that. This channel here, I'll be doing at late night, usually around 10 o'clock. So if you're sleeping late or getting up early or whatever, 10 o'clock at night, I'll be here. For now, it's just a couple of nights a week, but I'll get over that. As soon as I get everything turned back over to this channel from the other one. Look at all those bruises I'm getting. Must be bumping into stuff. That's what you guys see me looking at. I got bruises I didn't know I had. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, Chris. You work on like one at a time. I understand. So what, are you part Indian or something? Is that why you do so much of it? Oh, that's a pretty good Indian. Those guys really knew what they were doing. How much of it you got rolling around your bones? Well, it sounds like you are definitely working at it, my friend. When I was a lot younger, I could do that. I would just jump in my truck and take off. I would have one little backpack that I would carry with me. Then I would just stay gone for like a week at a time. Kind of hard for me to do now that I got this thing with me all the time. Kind of miss the old days. So you got Cherokee in you, huh, Ryan? I was kind of looking at your picture, thinking you had a little bit of Indian in you. I got like I'm like a quarter Indian. I'm good old Choctaw. Okie. I'm an Okie Indian. Oh, you're about 50%. Cool. That's pretty good percentage. Kyle's 0% Indian. Oh man, they were bow makers for sure, Chris. Plains Indian. They were from the plains. They had to be good with their bows and arrows so they could shoot us thy buffalo, you know. Yeah, you'll be taken into several tribes, Kyle. You'll be a clansman. You're gonna have to start learning how to prep so that you can take care of yourself. So you'll fit into a group. what do they call those, multi aid mag. Yep, short bows. Yep, and they were pretty deadly with those things too. You know how to make bows, Chris? He's from New York. Is that right, Kyle? Are you from New York and live in Florida? Is that what you're? Is that the deal? I'm telling you, Indians were pretty good back in the day. They didn't have hardly anything for tools. Just like you said, bones and stones, and they got by pretty good. You're a Yankee in Florida. Huh? I can understand why you wouldn't want to live in New York. They have some pretty messed up laws up there, Kyle. We're gonna have to get you started prepping. Heck, you know where all the state parks are. You could go and do a lot of stuff in those things. Get your badges of honor and stuff, for making fires and lean tos and sheds and all that good stuff. I bet there are, Kyle. Hell, they have, what do they call those, dual passports. Half the time they live in New York, the other half the time they live in Florida. Just like that dang president. I've heard that Marcusite. I've heard that it's some really good stuff for fire starting. I've heard of that before. Snowbirds, yeah, I know. We have them out in Washington too. They spend summer in Washington where it's nice and cool. And then in the wintertime, they go down to Phoenix, Arizona, spend the winter in Arizona where it's nice and warm. Snowbirds, they call them. Well, there's nothing wrong with the wife making a few extra dollars on the bills and stuff, is there, Chris? Is work really hard to come by there or what? Oh, it's very hard. There's only a small town. There's not any bigger cities close by. Holy cow. You must live way the heck out there, huh? Nothing wrong with that. I could dig it, man. I could dig it a lot. That'd be very cool. One thing about living in a small town, everybody knows everybody and they know what everybody else is doing. That could be good, that could be bad. Ugh, sorry. Really? You can only know four people after 5 years? Wow. You would think by now you'd know half the town. You keep to yourselves. Nothing wrong with that for sure. What made you guys move there? So there's not any big business there where you live, big enough to like employ most of the people around the town. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences, my friend. My condolences, Chris. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I got getting tired. I got to make a video before tomorrow. Since there's not too many folks in here, I'll give you guys a way to go find a bed somewhere. Yeah, yeah. Well, you're a good man there for sure, Chris. Hey, D-Mac, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm gonna be shutting her down. It's kind of late. Nobody showed up, and I can find better things to do than sit here and yawn to you guys. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow on the other channel, you guys, at 1 p.m. That's Mountain Daylight Time or Mountain Time, anyway. Now we'll have a topic there. We'll be talking about prepping and stuff like that. Hey, D-Mac, are you back in the house now? Good, good. I'm glad you got back in there, my friend. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. I appreciate you guys coming in and keeping me company. You guys mean the world to me. You guys are like my family, so I really appreciate you coming by. I will be back on this channel again on Tuesday. But I'll be out there on the other channel for a few more days, Friday and Saturday and Monday. All right, guys. Have a good one. Night.